Managing budgets is brutal. Leadership wants you to spend money over there. Then we get 20 plus cold emails daily, also asking for money for truly unbelievable promises of more leads, better websites, and more profit. But how can I possibly get enough money in my e-commerce budget to get everything done that I'm supposed to get done?
I'm all out of money!
The real question isn't how do I get more money? It's how do I make smart choices with what I have? As an e-commerce agency owner, I've worked with many e-commerce operators over the years, and I've noticed something. The merchants who seem to have endless budget constraints, and those who somehow always get their initiatives funded, they aren't much different when it comes to resources. They just think about the budget allocation completely differently. And so in this video, I'll share the proven framework comprised of 6 easy to follow points that will help you avoid these common budgeting pitfalls. This isn't theory. It's what actually works when you're dealing with the constraints and the competing priorities that we all have. I see most managers start budget planning by examining last year's spending and determining what new tools they need. The problem is that you end up defending tactical decisions. The managers who get budget approved consistently do something different. They start by pulling up leadership's strategic guide. What are the top 3 business priorities leadership is measuring? If leadership is focused on improving customer lifetime value or market expansion, maybe operational efficiency, then every budget decision should map back to one of those 3 things. Instead of asking, well, what do we need? We should instead ask, what capabilities do we need to build to hit these goals? And what is the most efficient way to build them? Sometimes that's a tool. Sometimes it's hiring someone, and sometimes it's deciding not to do something. When we connect every spending decision back to a strategic priority, budget requests feel less like nice to haves and more like investments. This is where you can actually create budget for new opportunities without having to ask for any new money. A great example is where I helped a team that was paying for Adobe Commerce identify duplicated functionality in the form of modules that they were also paying for. Switching back to native functionality saved them plenty in their budget, and I will say their previous agency should have told them this already. The same goes for software as a service. So if you're on Shopify or BigCommerce, do you need every app that you're paying for? Business needs do change, so it's likely you have a few apps that are no longer needed. I also like to reevaluate the services and the tools that I use personally. For example, Grammarly, SEMrush, and the slew of AI tools. When was the last time I used them, and will canceling this service negatively impact me because I cannot go use some other service that's less expensive or even free? This awareness shows leadership that you're thinking critically about spend, which has the positive side effect that they're more receptive when you do come and ask for something new. This is the game changer for getting budget approved in my experience, and it's something I see the most successful managers do consistently. When people say, we need this $5,000 a month tool, leadership immediately thinks about cost. But the managers who get budget approved frame it like this. They say, well, we have this opportunity to increase email revenue by an estimated $25,000 a month based on our current subscriber base and some performance gaps that we've identified. The investment required is $5,000 a month. The difference? I'm not asking for money. I am presenting an opportunity. Here's the framework that works. Number 1, connect to business goals first. In other words, we might say to support our customer retention objectives or to address the conversion rate gaps we discussed last quarter. Number 2, we want to show the opportunity size. So if we have 50,000 email subscribers averaging $2.50 in revenue per email sent, and you believe you can improve performance from 18 to 23% as far as open rates go, show that math. But on the other hand, we can't just go gung-ho with math. We do have to be conservative with our projections, and I've learned this the hard way. It's better to promise 15% improvement and deliver 25% than the reverse, where we promise 25% and deliver 15%. Your credibility does depend on this. And finally, number 4, we need to address the out. So if we don't see the results in 90 days, 180 days, here is our exit strategy. This approach has gotten me budget approved for initiatives that I definitely wouldn't have otherwise gotten the approval for. Now, here's something I wish more managers understood. We want to always allocate 5 to 10% of our budget for things we haven't thought of yet, because opportunities don't follow our annual planning cycle. Our competitor launches a cool new something, or you attend a conference and discover a solution to a problem you didn't even know could be solved, or you see a new conversion rate supercharging AI tool from SwiftOtter. You can't move fast on these opportunities if your budget is locked up 100%. I call this opportunity allocation. You have headroom when you want to leverage a new tool, and you might not even have to get approval. The key, of course, is being disciplined about what qualifies as an opportunity rather than just something that looks interesting or sexy. It needs to clearly support our strategic priorities and then have a measurable success criteria. This one is probably the easiest way to improve our budget performance without spending an extra dime. So during contract renewal conversations, just ask this question and you'll get better results. How are you using AI or automation to improve this engagement? For example, your development team should be churning out better quality work faster. Like us here at SwiftOtter, we are seeing some amazing results with infusing AI into our processes, literally in every discipline. If your vendors can't tell you how they're continuously improving the results that you're getting, you're paying for software access or human capital instead of ongoing value. And last but not least, here's the thing about reporting budget performance. Leadership doesn't care really, for the most part, about email open rates or conversion improvements unless you connect them with real business value. So instead of email performance improved 15%, site conversion rate went up 8%. Try something like this. Our email optimization generated an additional $47,000 in monthly revenue, and the conversion improvements contributed $23,000 monthly. Together, that's 14% progress toward our quarterly growth target. Same data, but it's framed around what leadership actually cares about. Look, we're all dealing with tight budgets and competing priorities. That's not changing today, and it will never change. But I have personally seen that when we approach budget management strategically instead of tactically, everything gets easier. Leadership takes requests more seriously. We can move faster on opportunities, and honestly, it feels like being in control and being proactive instead of being constantly reactive. The framework isn't complicated, but it does require thinking differently about presenting ideas and managing and measuring success. So I suggest you try this. Pick one area of your current budget and apply this strategic framework to it. Document what you find and how you'd reallocate your internal budgets based off of the actual business priorities. And I'd love to hear how this goes. Drop a comment below. Let me know what insights you discover. If this strategic approach resonates with you, subscribe for more practical frameworks that actually work in real e-commerce environments. And if you found it helpful, share with another e-commerce operator, e-commerce manager who's dealing with the same budget challenges that we all face.